Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Anna and I'm a little bit spooky, and today we're talking all about the Danessa Myricks Blooming Romance palette. We're going to go through all the details, the claims. I'm going to show you how I got this look here. I decided to try to do something a little bit in the cooler tones in the palette and split the difference between being super smoky and an everyday look, just to kind of show some of the capabilities. I'm also going to show you some other looks I've done with the palette, all the details, everything about it, and we're just going to sit here, have a good makeup review, chat, and demo. So if that interests you, just go ahead and keep on watching. Before you do, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know down below if there's some other looks or anything you would like to see with Blooming Romance from Danessa Myricks, because any excuse to play with this palette, I'm here for it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just get into the makeup. All right, let's talk about the Danessa Myricks Blooming Romance palette. Oh, she's so pretty. I mean, look at this. Gorgeous. Inside, you have 10 shades in 2 different formats. You have the powder and the pomade. And that's what she looks like. It is beautiful. It is the exact same formula and layout style as the original Groundwork Defining Neutrals, which I think is one of the most useful palettes. Especially if you are a makeup artist or just a consumer. It's a very handy palette. So here's what the original looks like. You've just, shades of neutrals, great for brows, contour, smoky eyes, all that sort of thing. And in this one, you definitely have amazing blushy shades. Oh, these colors. It's gorgeous. Yeah, you can just use it pretty much anywhere and everywhere on the face that you want to use it. Brows, eyes, cheeks, lips. So good. I've done a few looks. I will flash those on the screen here while we go over some claims and talk all about this palette. So this is the Danessa Myricks Groundwork Blooming Romance. Retails for $65. And what you have here is a multi-use talc-free palette with velvet pomades and oil-absorbing powders that define the eyes, brows, cheeks, and lips in shades of berries and mauves. It is formulated with Upsolite, which absorbs oil, smooths the look of texture, and ensures long-lasting wear, and gives a very filtered, blurred effect. It creates a range of looks from natural to bold with this essential everyday face and eye palette. It contains 10 soft, buildable, wearable, and universally flattering shades and 2 unique textures. The high-performance lightweight velvet pomades apply effortlessly to define your look, while the coordinating shape and fix powders mop up oils, smooth the look of texture, and lock in to shape and define. You have 10 shades. First up is Crush, which is a soft pink daisy. Smitten is a light mauve rosebud. Dreamy, blushing pink peony. Allure, medium mauve orchid. Desire, soft peach dahlia. Adorn, burgundy red hibiscus. Lovesick, burnt garnet tulip. Bliss, toasted burgundy gladiola. Evermore, dark mahogany cosmos. Exo, blackberry calla lily. I actually have a blackberry calla lily. Fun fact, her name is Shawnee. She is gorgeous when she blooms, and I love her so much. And yes, all my plants are named after characters from Dune. Anyway, I thought today to test this palette out in the video and show you some capabilities. We'll split the difference somewhere in between a soft look and a little smoky. We'll just do something very kind of classic for this demo's sake, just to show you how it performs on the eye and some of the capabilities of the palette. And I kind of want to move into these cooler tones in the palette. I want to use a little bit of Smitten, Allure, maybe a little Bliss, and a touch of Exo. So we'll see where we go with the look and just create something pretty and show the capabilities and beauty of this palette. So let's get started. I'm gonna grab a fluffy brush. My eyes already primed, by the way, ready to go. Brows are on. I'm gonna take a just a nice little fluffy brush here. We're gonna go into Crush just to get everything started here. That is the soft pink daisy shade. I love the descriptions of these shades, by the way. They sound so beautiful. some of the best shade descriptions I've ever read. I love it. So anyway, we're gonna take a little bit of crush and I'm gonna do the powders on the eyes. I have incredibly oily eyelids. They crease super easy. They're very hooded. And occasionally if I go in with too much of the cream on the lids, I'll get a little creasing. But on the face, the powders are on the face, these pomades wear amazingly. I can use them as liner. That works great. Just mostly I kind of try to avoid the crease area with them. So we go ahead and take the powder version of Crush here, and we're gonna hit under the brow bone, really brighten that up. I love the shade Crush. It is such a beautiful brightening, almost like one of those pink under eye powder types of colors. Amazing for the brow bone and inner corner, anywhere you want to brighten up. And so far I can say the quality of this palette is 10 out of 10. It is right up there with the original Groundwork palette. Just a solid, fun palette that brings out the creativity and you just want to paint. There's something about these palettes that just make me want to paint with the shades and just mix and feel like an artist with it. I feel like I have like an artist palette in front of me. And it's fun because it makes you feel like a makeup artist playing with these palettes. You feel like you have a pro kit. And I like that these are very pro feeling products that are a decent price point, that I don't think they're super unaffordable if you're needing to fill up your kit with some shades. For the consumer side of things, or just the makeup enthusiast, it's fun to have these very pro feeling products that can still be approachable and easy to work with. And I think people are going to find Blooming Romance to be a little more approachable than Defining Neutrals. Defining Neutrals, because the shades are a little, you know, like eyebrow shades and contour shades. They're not the most fun shades. And so when you look at that palette, sometimes it's like, what do I do with you? This one, you look at and you know exactly what you want to do with it. Like, yeah, these shades are going to go on the eyes. This is going to go on the cheeks. This is going to go on the lips. It's very, a little just less, you don't have to think as much with this one, I think. It's just a little more easy to work with. Because initially when I first looked at Defining Neutrals, I was kind of like, but what do I do with you? I like the look of you, but where do I put you? And once I got my hands in it, started like actually applying it, it was like, oh, I see why you're like an essential palette. It could be all you need. And I feel the same with this. This is just giving you those gorgeous blushy tones. A wonderful extension of Groundwork that I personally was wanting was these blushy shades. And a palette like this, it was something I mentioned in my Groundwork review, the original one, that was like, I hope she comes out with a blushy version because that would be just amazing. She did it. She did it. So I feel like I owed it to her to buy this palette to Danessa. Now we're going to go a step deeper. I'm going to go into, let's take a little bit of Smitten. I haven't used Smitten. I'm taking the powder still. Now what I like about it is that you can layer these shades and get more depth by layering them up. When you go in with like the cream first and use it as a base and then apply the powder over, you're going to get a little more richness, a little more depth and complexity from them. And it's really, it's fun to get that versatility within the palette. So I'm going to take Smitten, which is described as the light mauve rosebud. And we're going to start that right here in the transition. Oh, that is so pretty. And these shades have just a lovely level of nuance to them. Like they're very nice and just such a pleasure to work with, especially both formulas, a pleasure to work with. But man, these powders, they are so smooth and just so flattering on the skin. They look thin, they don't look heavy. The creams don't look heavy. Everything looks so lightweight. And they just give this beautiful soft focus blurred effect. Very pretty. I think that alone makes it very unique, is the just the finish and look on the skin that they have. And I would like the Upslight ingredient. I think it's wonderful. More products need to have Upslight in it because it is what gives that beautiful smooth effect and helps absorb oils. And these products are very long wearing. Like on cheeks, lips, eyeliner, eyes, like they're not going nowhere. Like, they will survive a whole day. I'm impressed at how well they wear on the lips. If you take one of the creams and use it as your lip liner or lipstick, that's gonna be there for a long time and survive a good portion of the day. There's something just very unique about the cream formula, the Velvet Pomade. They are velvety and kind of putty-like. It's like a dryish cream, but still blendable. Really unique formulation. All right, let's go a step deeper still, and we'll go into Allure, which is the medium mauve orchid. And we're gonna start bringing that into the crease a little bit tighter. Still working with just powders at this point. I do believe she's gonna start to sell these individually, the shades, so you can refill. I think it'd be really cool for her to do like kind of a build your own palette. Would be really nice. But now we're just bringing that deeper in. And see how effortlessly that just glides. You can't beat that just really satisfying glide that these have. They're like silk. And I like how this shade is a cool tone shade, but still has just that kiss of warm in there that makes it so flattering and not where it's gonna like wash you out to cool. It doesn't go gray. It is a really, really nice balance. This truly is like just a romantic, sweet color story. And just so functional if you are a makeup artist to have all these shades in your kit for your blushes and brows and all the things. Like, there's some great brow shades in here. If you have like a reddish undertone, you got brows right here. All right, just building up Allure a little bit more. What a lovely color Allure is. I'm going to take a little bit of Allure on the lower lash line as well. Just so effortless and soft. Bridal. Oh, this palette. Wonderful if you do a lot of bridal makeup. We can soften that out. Now I'm going to take some of Bliss, which is the Toasted Burgundy Gladiola. I love the sound of that. But this one does have like a little bit of coolness in it with the toastiness. It's a little bit more into a mauve-y place. Well, or is it? Yeah, we'll use it. I think it'll pair really nicely. I'm going to take a little bit of the cream of Bliss first. And I can do the creams on the lid itself fine. So I'm going to pull a bit here. Just right out here on my little smudgy brush. And I'm going to just pull it up and out. And I'm also going to run a little bit right there. And we can soften that up a little bit. And then I'm going to take the powder. I'm just going to use this brush. This is a Precision Firm blender. And we're going to take the powder version of Bliss over top. And that gives so much more depth to the shade. And these aren't fallout prone formulas. You'll get maybe a little bit if you're just messy like me, but they're not inherently prone to fall out everywhere. All right, just diffusing that over onto the lid some and going underneath as well with it and just softening all that out with this shade and building the depth on the outer corner, and as there's less product, diffusing it. All right, I'm gonna go back to my original fluffy brush. Do a little softening up. And take a little bit more of Allure. I'm gonna take a little packer, like smudge brush, dense brush, and clean that off. I'm gonna take a little bit of Smitten. I'm gonna come right here with it. Let that diffuse over. And then we'll take Crush and come right here on the inner part and just brighten that up and let it flow together. That looks so smooth and just so effortlessly blended. Really easy shades to work with. I love when they just shadows just blend like a dream. And they don't need any hand holding. They just work. That's what this palette does. It just works. All right, taking some Smitten and then Crush under here. I'm gonna grab a little liner brush now, and we're gonna go with a little bit of XO, which is the Blackberry Calla Lily. I'm taking the cream. I'm gonna build that right out here on the outer lash line. And let it diffuse. Gonna up and into Bliss. And now we'll take the powder version of XO and come over top. And we can like set that down basically. And we'll take a little bit more of XO right here. I'm just using the powder. Just add a little bit of shadow. All right, I'm gonna clean up the, I didn't really get fallout per se, I just got messy. I'm gonna tidy that up and we'll be right back. Okay, face makeup is on and I tied up right under here and blended it back out. A little backwards there, but here we are. I'm gonna list everything I put on my face down below if you're interested. So let's do a little blushy action with this beautiful palette. I'm gonna start with the shade. Let's do a little bit of Bliss. Just a little bit of the cream version. I'm picking up on a brush about this size. I'm gonna work it into my hand a bit here. I'm gonna tap it kind of on the backs of the cheeks. Up here. Almost like a contour, but not quite. I'm using a very light amount. All right, and then I'm going to take a little bit of Allure of the cream. Come just a little bit more broadly and lower. Now this shade kind of functions in a very nice subtle contouring way because it has that bit of coolness in it. Interesting. Kind of like that. All right, we'll do some Smitten right here. Just a nice little mixture of some shades. And we're using the pomades on the cheeks here. That gives just a nice little bit of brightness. I'm doing kind of a stamping and a little swirling. Gently. Yeah, Allure makes a nice kind of shadowiness. Cool. Cool. I'm gonna throw on a little mascara real quick. You ever just be sitting here and wind yourself up about something and get so frustrated and have a mental argument about something that hasn't happened or probably won't happen, but you just get so aggravated about it, thinking of a possibility that could happen? I just did that the whole time I was doing my face makeup. I'm having an imaginary fight. You kind of get yourself worked up. You're like, oh, I wish they would. Goodness. Okay. And on the lips, I am going to take the shade Bliss all over. I think I'm going to line them first with a lip liner. Just it's a little bit easier. I'm going to take Avi from ColourPop. You can definitely line your lips with these, though. It's just... that can take a minute because you got to get there with the little brush, you know. Okay. And now I'm just going to take my this brush, the Precision Detail. I'm going to take some Bliss, the cream. All right, and here is kind of a soft in-between smoky, bold look and a everyday look. It's a middle ground here with the Danessa Myricks Blooming Romance. I think it came out really pretty. Very smooth, very blended. I love it. I do. I think it's come out so pretty. Again, it is super romantic look and just something so soft. It's soft, but it has a little bit of drama to it. So yeah, some firm thoughts here on Blooming Romance. It is beautiful. if you like berry tones and blushy tones, this is a wonderful palette to have in your collection. It does have a really nice variation of shades that range from mauve, peach, warm pinks, cooler pinks, and a couple of brownie burgundy tones in here. You can do a lot with this color story. And again, lips, cheeks, eyes, wonderful for the makeup kit. A perfect extension of defining neutrals with this palette. It just feels like a perfect progression. And I cannot wait to see what she does next in this Groundwork range. I hope she continues this series because I love it. I love this. And this does not feel cheap by any means. This feels very heavy, very substantial, not going to fall apart in your kit. It's going to travel well. It has a wonderful mirror in it also. And yeah, I think it's a really good product for the makeup artist and the enthusiast and consumer as well. It can work great for everyone. So yeah, I think it's wonderful. Wonderful quality. And it's a close-up of our look. And you said just everything looks very kind of filtered and pretty. So good. It's so good. Danessa creates wonderful formulas, and you can tell this is something made by a makeup artist, primarily for a makeup artist. Like, this is geared towards that, but she found a way to make a very pro-feeling products be more user-friendly, fun, pretty to look at, and not so down to business kind of thing. Like, she made them look fun and pretty as well as being serious product. So yeah, all right, let me know your thoughts down below on the Blooming Romance palette and some more types of looks you'd like to see with it. I do have a halo smoky eye coming up with it, and I'm definitely gonna do some more stuff. I'm gonna do a how to contour with blush with the palette. And yeah, if you have any other suggestions though, drop them in the comments down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe and stay spooky. Bye now.